In July on a faculty-led program. It was for like education majors, but some of the courses that were offered were not specifically for ed majors, so we had kind of like mostly ed majors go, but then a couple kids that like weren't ed majors at all went on this program. So some of the biggest things that stuck out to me that were different between Cambodia and the US was the language, obviously. They spoke Khmer or Khmer, but also that was mostly in like the countryside, like the cities that weren't like as big or popular, they spoke a lot more Khmer. And then when we got to the capital of Phnom Penh, they mostly spoke English, so we were really shocked by that. They are mostly a rainforest. They're really tropical. It's like extremely humid and so hot, so hot. Like before we went, our professors were prepping us, and they were like, it's basically August in Houston, like every single day, and it rains like every day. And it was a lot to take in. Their largest city was the capital of Phnom Penh, which had 1.4 million people, and then our largest city, I just looked it up, is New York City, and we have 8.6. Cambodia is 4 times smaller than Texas, but they don't have like as established roads. And so when we're going from like kind of the top to the bottom of it, and so like it was the distance basically from like San Antonio to San Marcos, but it took us 8 hours because there weren't like paved roads, and we were like in a bus like bumping along, like following goats and stuff. One of the biggest things that really stuck out to me about like the culture itself was their collectivist society, and so people were so aware of the people that were around them and were so considerate of everyone else. I didn't see a single like traffic accident while I was there because everyone just knows like to look for everyone else. Like plus like there's traffic laws, but there's not. You just kind of like walk into the highway with a purpose, and people like park around you. That was a lot to get used to, but it was a lot of fun. The money that they use is real and US dollars, which is cool. We had to get like brand new US dollars because they don't, if it has like a little tear in it or like it's folded, they wouldn't take it a lot of the time because counterfeit money is like a big issue over there. And so I had to like go to the bank and was like, hi, I need like 600 like brand new bills. And so that was annoying for the banker, but it's fine. But so you would pay for something in US dollars, but if there was like change that you needed to get back, they didn't use our coins, they used their money. And so they would give you real, which was basically like just more paper bills. There weren't any coins in Cambodia at all. And then 25 cents for us was $1,000 for them. So the like switch to money over there was a lot to figure out, but it was pretty easy because it was kind of like tokens at Chuck E. Cheese. Like 4 and it's $1. So that was easy to like pick up, but it got like really confusing when the price was really low, because then it would get into like decimal cents for us, and then we were just like, I'm just gonna give you extra money. Okay, so here's a picture that I took of one of the markets that we went to. These are like the greatest fruits. They're so good. I think we have them here. They're called mangosteens. I think you can get them at like Trader Joe's for like way too much money, but they're so good. Fish is super, super popular. It's like everything is fish because that's what drives their economy. Rice is also like extremely, extremely popular. Like I don't even know how many days I literally just ate rice like all day because they would serve it like 4 or 5 different types of ways, and so you could just eat rice different ways all day. A lot of the fruits and vegetables were similar to the US, but some were not available in the US at all. I could go to like convenience stores, and they were selling strawberries for like $7 for like a box. So like they have it, you can get it, but it's really expensive. Apples were really expensive. But bananas were a big deal. They had bananas a lot, but the bananas taste weird. They taste different. Like, I don't know how to describe it. They hit different. They're chewier and smaller. It was weird. But they weren't plantains. I don't know. I'm so confused. A lot of commercial foods were offered there as well. I found Lucky Charms for $9 a box. So you do that. But like sodas and everything were a big deal. And one of the things I thought was like the funniest experience was like you would go into a restaurant and they'd be like, do you want Coke or Pepsi? And then for like the first week we were like, you guys have both, because you could just pick whatever you want. So that was a trip. These are a whole bunch of pictures that I took on the trip. That's the market that I was talking about. And this dude was our, we took a food tour and he took us on our little like tuk-tuks all over the city. This is a floating village on the lake from earlier. They have certain laws about which ethnicities of people are allowed to own land in Cambodia, and so the people that are not allowed, it's really discriminatory, but the people that are not allowed to own land are like, okay, well I'm still gonna live here, and so they like build houses on the lake, so they're like, I'm not on land, but, so that's pretty funny. Those are 3 pictures of different temples that we saw. They have like so many just gorgeous, incredible ancient temples. The temples were really tricky too because, for example, Angkor Wat was built as a Hindu temple and then like centuries later was converted to a Buddhist temple, and usually those 2 religions don't go together, but since both of them valued the temple so much, they didn't want to like destroy it or get rid of anything to like switch it over, and so it's like, as you walk through it, it's like this incredible like merge of the 2 religions. So that's super cool. This was in the countryside city that we were in, a place called Angkor Artisans. Cambodia's got a really, I'm trying to think of the right word, I guess tragic, a really tragic history. They come from a lot of warfare, and they are only recently like a free country. They were occupied by the Khmer Rouge for 1975 to 79, or 73 to 5, I can't remember, but it was like a couple years, and it wiped out 3 million people. And so there's an entire generation of people that's missing. I didn't meet a single person that was over 65 because most of them were killed by the Khmer Rouge. And with that, it robbed them of a lot of the culture of their country. And so what Angkor Artisans did was they saved like ancient techniques of like making art and cultural things that were really important to their values, and the people that made it through that occupation were able to like find people that wanted to learn these like ancient ways and started reteaching them the culture of their country. And so that was just like a really beautiful thing to see. Was this is like a huge like economic thing for them, because now it's like a tourist kind of thing, like they can sell all this art like around the world, and it was still like so valuable to them, and that was really, really cool to see. It was really cool. And then that's me and my classmate Ida. We worked with students from several different universities in Cambodia, and our classes were integrated with them, which was really cool because we got to know them personally, and they got to know us personally, and we each learned a lot more about the other's culture, and I don't know, just a lot of like similarities and differences that we share. But it was just really funny, like the differences that we had, but we were able to like talk through it and like find common ground, and I'm still like really close with a lot of them.